Hello everyone. Welcome back to the BISP Solutions. My name is Anjali Singh Chauhan, and yesterday we were discussing about workforce financial planning in the EPBCS. So today we will be moving ahead. So let's get started. So as we in the yesterday's session we have completed setting up EPBCS financial module. Firstly, we have created the application naming EPBCS. Then we have enabled the workforce business process, and also we have configured the workforce, like we have updated the metadata, we have uploaded the metadata, and today we have to do the further steps, like the setup is completed, and today we will be moving ahead for the setting up of workforce planning assumption. Then we will be discussing about setting up workforce planning default. So step by step we will be understanding how to do that, right? So let me move to my application. So I have updated my backup because previously we have not completed the whole process. So I just updated my backup, and once it is updated, we'll be start doing the process. Till then, this is getting uploaded. We will be discussing about few things like what is assumptions, why we are setting up those assumptions in the workforce planning, right? So guys, just give me a second. So in the again I'm repeating what we have done in the yesterday's session. We have created the application, then after creating the application we have enabled the features. Let me move back to my presentation. Yeah, here it is. So firstly we have created the application EPBCS, then enabled the features like granularity. We have enabled for employees and job both, because we want to calculate for both of the expenses for our organization. And then we will move to our configuration. After the configuration process, the main step is to refresh the database. If we are not refreshing the database, so many calculations are not taking place, because things are not updated. So database refresh is a very important process. Then after that, in today's session we'll be understanding how to set the user variable, user preferences, and I have already updated the metadata in the previous session. So today I'll be telling you how to load the historical data. Then after that we'll be doing the workforce assumptions, defaults, and then step by step we will be completing the process, and in the last we will be doing the data validation. So let me check whether my application is uploaded or not. Okay, so it is successfully uploaded. Let me log in again to my instance. So if talking about assumptions, so generally assumptions including hours worked per day and week. Like our employees, if we want to know like how much hours our employees are working per day and per week, and working days per month. So on that basis generally we are calculating their salaries, right? So which derives salary expenses for hourly employees, and the partial payment factor, that is we can say the pay percentage to apply to maternity status. Like sometimes female employees wants the maternity leave, right? So some companies provide the full payment to their female employees, support their employees, while some companies are only pay the 50% of their salaries, because it's totally depend on the company to company. So we have to set those assumptions. And again, for assumptions other than merit, you can set assumptions by entity or at the no entity level. Let me show you that. Go to the configuration. From here we have to select our on which model we are working. So I'm selecting workforce model. From here you can see yesterday we have completed the employee metadata, entities metadata, job metadata. Apart from that, we have also updated the union codes, that is the unique code designed for the employees. You can see it is completed. Now also we have configured this the scenarios for different time ranges, that is planning and forecast preparation. So let me explain this thing again. Firstly, select the current fiscal year. So my current fiscal year is financial year 23, and the period I want to work, that is from November. And here I want to start my planning from the next fiscal year. And here I am taking the monthly planning. I'm doing the monthly planning, and forecasting is also monthly. Click on save options. So once it is done, we can move ahead. After doing the metadata and planning and forecast preparation, just move to your benefits and taxes. So let me show you my example, how I created. Yesterday I tell you that I have created few cases for make you people understand. So as we all know that an employee in his whole journey is getting various kind of benefits, additional earnings, taxes and many more. So for in the workforce calculation, today I have taken these few allowance, that is house rent allowance and transport allowance. Actually the metadata which I have updated is having different allowances, but today I want to add some few more allowances to make you understand how we can calculate that. So as you can see that my component metadata, so here you can see that total component under the component, and then we have no component, we have few salary grades from grade 1 to grade 10. Then you can see the benefits. Here I have added the healthcare benefits, then medical contribution. Previously I have added the staff provident fund, maternity leave, paid sick leave, retirement benefits. So these benefits I have prepared for you to make you understand how you can add the benefits and how it will work. And in the additional earnings, accommodation allowance, responsibility allowance, transport allowance, house rent allowance, many other kind of allowances an employee is getting during his employment journey. Then you can see the taxes I have added here: Medicare tax, social security tax, state income tax, then state unemployment tax, federal income tax, and then merit increase. So go back to application. You can either add your benefits from here. This is one option. From here you can see the benefits, additional earnings and taxes, and if you want you can update the metadata for benefits and taxes. Firstly, let me check what are the additional earnings currently I am having in my application. So it is showing accommodation, responsibility and transport. So what I will be doing, I will be updated that component sheet so that each benefit and additional earning will be reflected over there. Where is the component? Yeah, here it is. So once more I am updating the component metadata file, because I have updated few benefits and additional earnings. Validate, then import, and then close. So here you can see the status is completed. Now let me check in the jobs. So my metadata is successfully imported and validated as well. Once it is done, go back to the configuration and check each and every benefit you want to add is successfully added or not. First let me refresh the database. One more thing I want to tell you people, that for assumptions other than merit, you can set assumptions by entity or at the no entity level for default assumptions. If you set assumptions for the entity, then they are used for calculations. Otherwise, the assumptions set for no entity at the organization level are used, right? So if you enable merit assumptions, you can also set merit assumptions for merit month and cutoff date. So I'll be telling you about these things, what are the cutoff date, merit month for the existing employees. Now let's check whether the benefits are successfully added or not. So here you can see my healthcare benefits, medical contribution, each and every benefits is showing over here. Let me check the additional earnings as well. So here I got my house rent allowance and transport allowance. So in this way you can add the benefits and additional earnings. Also I want to check the taxes. So you can see each and every tax is showing over here. Now let's close this. And further we have to set the user variables and variables. That is very important process, because we have to set the point of view so that our application will work accordingly. For that, just move to the dashboard, go to the tools, and from here you can see this variable card. Go to that. So earlier I have already completed this process. You can see I have selected I descendants of all the components of all the currencies, total entity. If you want to change it, you can change it accordingly, according to your requirement. Then you can see I have selected the employee, total employees, total jobs. Then again that is showing this employee option. Okay. I think it is selected twice. So let me make it component. So from here I am selecting my total components. Now click on save. The records are saved successfully. Okay, it is by default setted, that's why it is not changing. You can see the components is showing other side. If you want to change it further, you can change it. Now after the variable setting, just go to the user preferences. Now here we have to select on what component or currency we want to work. So here I am selecting grade 1, or we can select any kind of benefit over here. So let's select grade 1. Currency is USD. I want entity. Okay, so here my total entity is not reflecting. Okay, let's take it this entity. No issues. Here USD reporting is the reporting currency, then OEP plan is the scenario, then OEP working is the version. We are planning, so I have taken the financial year 24 because from January itself I want to do the planning. From here we will be selecting the expense, OFS salary, actually someone is doing the financial planning in the same application, that is why these account are visible, so we have to select it. Now from here you can select the employee for which you want to work, you want to calculate. So it is already selected, no need to change this. Now click on save. Okay, we have to change this. The member I descendants total component does not exist for the specified cube, or you do not have access to it. So we have to check whether the metadata is updated or not for the total component. Go to the dimensions. It is already updated. So maybe it is not selected there. Again, I am moving towards the variable. Okay, so here they want the employee variable, that is why it is showing that error. No worries, I am selecting the total employees from here. Click on save. Then go back to the user preferences. Now it is successfully saved. Once it is done, again go to the configuration. From here you can add the options and tiers if you want. Currently it is no option. If you want to add, you can add it from here like this. Option 1. If you want to add the tiers, so it is already added tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3. So I'm not changing this one. until then the database is refreshing. Let me show you how I have done this thing. Once we will be updating the figures of our basic pay, house rent allowance, healthcare benefits, and cited the assumptions and default. Each and everything is done. After that, we have to run the business rules, and once it is done, we have to do the data validation like this. Okay, and here are my cases. You can see I have added the house rent allowance. The component type is simple. Payment term is I have added monthly fiscal year. Payment frequency is not applicable. One time pay option is again not applicable. Then value type flat amount. Maximum value type is flat amount. Threshold scope is monthly. Threshold component is not applicable. There is no threshold taxable component. Then earning type is I want to add it to the gross pay, and the flat amount I want to provide it's the 20,000. Okay, so in this way I've designed these three cases I have prepared for you guys. After that, the case 2 is annual bonus. I want to calculate it through the help of rate table. Then the terms will be like I want to take it a percentage of salary. So here I have selected 20% of gross salary. Okay, so go back to the application. Now we have to provide the threshold limits and all. So first let me go to the healthcare benefits. So you can select from here the component type from the sheet I have created. The component type for the healthcare benefits is rate table and threshold. Either you can take this, or if you want to take it simple, then you can take it simple. So here I am changing this. In the next example I will be taking some different things. It is not mandatory to select financial account because we are not doing the financial planning, but here I am taking it as salaries. Now payment terms. So you can see I take the payment term is semi-annually. Why I have selected that? Because many companies are not providing the healthcare benefits throughout the year. They want sometimes semi-annually, like in a month of January or July. So that is why I have selected that. You can always choose it according to your company requirements, right? So semi-annually calendar year I want to add it. And from here we can select the payment frequency. So I just want to take it as a last pay during the last period. I've also written over here. Okay, so as we have changed it from rate table and threshold to simple, that is why things are showing differently. Once we have selected this, now either you can take the flat amount, or you can take the percentage of salary, or also you can take the percentage of overall earnings. So in my calculation sheet, here I want to take the percentage of salary. Percentage of salary is again the maximum value type. So I have selected the percentage as 15% of basic pay. So you can also set as a threshold whether you can do it on a monthly basis or a year till date. So I am again setting the monthly. Okay, then it is asking that is it a taxable component or not. So I'm providing this benefit to my employees, so I don't want to make it a taxable one. So either you can select yes or no. So currently I'm selecting it as no. Once it is saved, then click on next. Here you have to provide the rate. Here I want 15%. So I'm drag it throughout the year. Click on save and next. So you can see I want it semi-annually, that is why it is not showing from the beginning. It is starting from June onwards. Okay, so only June my employee will be getting the healthcare benefits, that is the rate of 15% of basic salary. Click on save. And you can see it will be selected for each and every year, not for a single year, because we are doing the planning for the financial year 28. Okay, now let's close this. For making it simple here, I am just taking two kinds of benefits today, that is healthcare benefits and maternity leaves. So click on maternity leave and repeating the process which we have done for the healthcare benefit. Again, you can take the rate table and threshold, simple, rate table and custom. If I don't have the rate table, so I am making it as a simple one. Then payment terms, here I want it to the monthly fiscal year. Then if I am taking it as monthly, then there is no payment frequency, because monthly it will be done, and there is no one-time pay options as well. From here you can provide the flat amount or whatever you want. So here again I just want it to the percentage of salary, because as I told you that many companies are providing the 50% rate, and like partial payment factor we have discussed it, and many other companies are taking the 100% rate, the full salary they are providing to their female employees for the maternity leave as well. So I'm taking the percentage of salary, or also you can take the percentage of overall salary if you want. Then the threshold limit will be monthly, because every month we will be providing salary to the female employees. Then yes, it is the taxable component I considered. Click on save. Okay, it is important because someone is doing the financial planning, so I'm selecting it as salaries and save. Click on next. Here we have to provide the percentage. So 50% of gross pay we want, but currently I have only selected the basic pay, so it will be showing it as 50% of basic pay. Okay, so you can say it is showing it as 50% of basic pay. So let's change it from here also, so that we will be not getting confused with this. Then you can see we have taxes. Today I've added social security tax. Again, I just wanted to the annual fiscal year payment terms, and payment frequency will be paid during the last period. I just want to pay the taxes during the last period, and it will be the percentage of taxable earnings. So whatever the things are the taxable earnings, it will be taking percentage of that only. So here I have selected 2% of maternity leave, because only maternity leave is taxable in my case. Okay, so save and close. Benefits done. Then go to the additional earnings and taxes, complete it quickly. Wait a minute. Just okay, our maternity leave is already completed, right? So this is allowance. Let me check what I have taken here. Simple, salaries, here the creation date is showing, and then again payment terms will be monthly fiscal year. Value type will be flat amount. I have selected a value that is 20,000 every month. Again, maximum value type is flat amount. Monthly taxable component, yes. Let's make it taxable. Then earning type. So it is asking for two options, whether you want to add this to the gross pay or do not add to the gross pay. So let's add it to the gross pay. Save and next. Here we will be providing the flat amount of 20,000 and drag it throughout the whole years. Okay, you can see my rate and threshold both are same. I have not provided any other kind of limit. Then the second one is I am taking the transport allowance. This is again simply monthly fiscal year, and here I have selected the percentage of salary. Yes, I just want to make it a taxable component. Then earning type, yes, I want to add it to the gross pay. Okay, so click on save and then click on next. Here we have to provide the percentage, how much percentage we want for the transport allowance. Let's make it 10% of the basic pay. Here you don't have to write the percentage, just simply write the figures and drag it throughout the year. It will automatically fetch the percentage. Why it is not scrolling? Due to the network connection, it is taking time. I don't know why it is hang for a minute. We were on the benefits and taxes portion, and here the additional earnings, transport allowance. Yeah, so it is already saved. Click on next. You can see 10% of basic salary it is taking. Save and close. So accommodation allowance, responsibility allowance, and here we have added transport and house rent allowance and working on both of these. After doing this, just go to the taxes and apply for the same. You can see these taxes are already available as we have updated the metadata of taxes. Then social security tax, simple, salaries, payment terms. Payment term is annual fiscal year because we want to calculate this tax annually, and I just want to pay it during the last period. As you can see here, value type would be either you can take the percentage of taxable earnings or overall earnings. So because it is a tax, so I'm taking the taxable earnings, and threshold limit is the year to date. Save, next. Here I am selecting 2% of taxable compensation. Save and next. Because it will be done at the last period, so it will be highlighted from December itself. Let me save and show you again. Why it is not running? Okay, I'll be showing it later on. It will be reflected from on the December only, because it will be the last period. Now let's close it and again refresh the database. Sorry. So we have already set the variables, user preferences, and now the time for moving ahead for the assumptions and defaults. So once it is done, click on workforce, go to the compensation planning, and here you can see we have the overview window, then manage employees, then employee details, transfers, assumptions, defaults, and validate, and in the last the must update option. So what we will be doing first is to set the assumptions and defaults. One more thing we forget, the performance benefit. Here one option will be reflecting. You can see these merit rates and performance metrics. From here we can add the merit rates. Currently it is no merit. Actually we are providing why we are giving this performance matrix, because every employee is having different kind of capabilities, right? So we just want to set few metrics, based on the performance of the employees, like if the employees are working above the expectation, below the expectation, or if they are meet out the expectation. So from here I am adding these things: the above expectation, then I just want to make it on a percentage, keep it simple, store and save this. Then we will be taking the other one, that is meet expectation. If the employees meet the expectation, then it will be taking another percentage. With the help of this, an organization can identify the performance level of the employees. This is also very much important in the workforce planning, right? Because for every organization, they want to know the performance of the employees, how much improvement will be required. That is why we are doing this. Then one more I want to add, that is below the expectation. Sometimes the employees are not working meet the expectation. So we will be taking it as the below the expectation rate. We will be categorizing as save and close. Once it is done, you can check it from here, merit rates. From here we can also define the rates. We can do it directly from the assumption part. Close it from here, and from here you can see the salary grades. This will also be doing there at the assumption or defaults part. Now as you can see, in the assumption there are three options we have to set, that is general, salary grades and merit rates. So as we have set the merit rates, so you can see the option here, it will be reflecting. Currently we have not set the percentage, so it is showing like this. Once we will be set the defaults, it will be reflecting. From here we have to select the entity on which we are working. So I remember we have taken this Latam, and here I just want to make you people understand that how we can like set the workforce assumptions. Suppose an employee works 8 hours a day, right? 8 hours he is working. So here we have to take the 8. And in my company he is working 5 days in a week. So according to the 5 days, multiply by 8 hours, how much hours he is working per week, that is 40. Okay, so 40 will be dragged throughout. Now suppose after deducting all the leaves and Sundays and Saturdays, we can say the weekdays, after removing the weekends, my employees are working 22 days per month. Okay, and this one is the partial payment factor, which I just want to make you understand. Actually the partial payment means a payment that is less than the full amount due. Other terms for partial payment include part payment, installment payment, down payment or upfront payment. For example, we can say a woman is on the maternity leave. Okay, so sometimes the company is providing the full payment and sometimes it is partially paid them to the employees. Again, the employee may be on work from home due to some kind of illness from long time. So on that case also the employee will be getting either the whole salary or he will be getting the half salary. Okay, part payment. So it is related to that. So you can take it as 100% or 50%, whatever you want. It's totally according to the requirement of the company. I am taking it as 100%. My company will be providing the 100% salary. Once it is done, click on save, and from here we have to provide the merit month. Now what are the merit assumptions? So let's read it about this also. Merit month specifies for each year the month in which to give a merit increase. Suppose my company wants to provide a merit increase from the month of June or July. So the July will be known as the merit month. Okay, and we can say the existing employees, the cutoff date indicates the date for each year by which an employee must be hired to be eligible for a merit increase. Okay, so merit assumptions are set at either a global level or entity level depending on how merit assumptions were enabled. So here I am just selecting um, suppose March will be the merit month, and cutoff date would be we have selected November, so I'm taking 30 is the cutoff date. Now every year we wanted a merit month with should be March, so I'm dragging it and same date I want to take till November. It will be calculated from March to November. That is why we have to set this. Okay, I'm sorry, I selected the wrong date. On this basis it will be calculated. $26 and this should be $25. Okay, once it is done, click on here save option, save back, and finally save it. The data has been saved. Now go to the salary grades. So I have prepared a data sheet. You can see basic salaries with cost of living adjustment. I have created few departments, that is HO support and then accommodation. The next one is different. Let's take it this one only. This is my basic salary, and at the last I have provided the total of this. Okay, so today I am just doing it for the grade 1. Click on here. If you want to choose it hourly, weekly, annually, monthly, it's totally up to you. Let me take it annually, and my annual rate would be 6 lakhs. Save it. Okay, so let's take for grade 2 also and make it monthly, so that we can understand how we can calculate it on a different levels, different basis. For grade 2, let's check the amount. Job grade 2, it is 60,000 monthly, and if talking about the whole year, so it would be 7,20,000. So here I am writing it as 60,000. Save. Apart from that, you can also select it as on a hourly basis. Currently I am saving this only. Now go to the merit rates. Now we can provide the merit rate. Suppose the expectation, if the employee will be working above the expectations, so I am taking here the 10%. and here I am taking 0.05 for the meet out percentage, that is the 5%, and below expectation is 0.03, that is 3%. Again we can select here the default merit rate. Suppose the default merit rate would be 12%, and no merit will be 0%. Now click on save and refresh. So you can see we have set each and every assumption. From here, every time we are working, we have to select our entity, click on this arrow, and you will be getting the information. This is the salary grade. I think it is not set. Again I am updating this. And here it is the monthly. $60,000 is the monthly salary. Click on save. After the assumptions, we have to go to the default window. So defaults and assumptions drive the calculations for workforce related expenses. If you want a default for a salary, additional earning, benefits or taxes to be used for all employees in a specific job, select that job when adding the default. For example, if you select the accountant, suppose we have a job of accountant, and when adding the default for job, then all employees who are accountants are assigned for that default, right? So it is calculated by, this is why we are setting the default. If the employee and job granularity are enabled, you must set defaults based on job and union code. This setting defaults compensation elements for new hires for a specific job. For example, you might set the default salary grade to grade 3 for a warehouse worker with the union code of Teamster. So it is working according to this. Now as the time is already completed, so in the tomorrow's session we will be completing it from the default part, right? So after salary, additional earnings, benefits, taxes, we have to set each and everything. After that we'll be moving ahead. Okay, so till then guys, if you have any kind of queries, you can always feel free to ask us. Thank you so much for attending this session. Bye bye.